Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I just am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives and to teach us how to become spiritual beings. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cusses in the same sentence. And I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlamagne the God, it will not stop me. Angel number 30. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. All right, so actually, this is going to be a love reading. Okay, I don't know where that came from. I be trying to be silly, y'all. Give us just a little bit, a little bit of energy. But, don't judge me. Let's go ahead and get into it. Dear God, guardian angels, ancestors, we come to you as humbly as we know how to just say thank you. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for allowing us to be in our right mind. Now, dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, we ask for information that you deem worthy for us to share at this time. Please deliver these messages to me and through me. God, what do we need to know in order to have divine partnerships? In God name I pray, I should. So literally, y'all, a card flew out, and I'll just take that from the bottom. Actually, no, I'm not. Actually, I think I should just, a part of me wants to just focus on the card that flew out. So the card that flew out is you deserve love. You are lovable. Angel number 153, and give your relationship a chance. For you guys that are in a relationship, I feel like what God is saying is that maybe I really get the energy for my listeners and my viewers that are in a relationship. I feel like how you view relationships and how you're viewing yourself is affecting your relationship. So like, say for example, if you grew up and you felt like you weren't loved and appreciated, it may be very hard for you to understand that your partner genuinely loves you and he genuinely appreciates you. And so I feel like what God is saying is that maybe you need to, instead of always pointing to him, maybe you need to look internally and ask yourself, do you believe that you are worthy of love? And then for my people who are single, I feel like God is saying the reason why you are single and you may be struggling in your singlehood. I'm making up words. Is because you don't believe that you deserve love. You don't believe that you're lovable. So I'm actually going to go into our chakra deck and do a blockages reading on why don't we feel worthy of love. Let's see if we can heal and address what is stopping us from believing that we are worthy of love. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, what is blocking us from allowing us to know that we are worthy of love? What is keeping us out of divine partnerships? Allow no room for doubt or confusion. So the card on the bottom is going to be our card. If you don't know card like slip out, it's going to be our card. One more. You deserve love. God, why don't we feel worthy of love? What's blocking us from receiving the love that is meant for us? Abundance. Very interesting. Angel number 40. Abundance. But I actually really like this. And look, right under this, abundance and joy. And I like that both of these cards under here deals with our solar plex. So it's our solar plex that's really blocking us from feeling that we're worthy of love. I already know this story, but I'm not even going to assume that you've heard this story before. Let's go right into this. Your yellow chakra is all about exploring your thought process. The yellow cards of the third chakra, the solar plex, reveal our planning process. Do we have a logical or scattered approach? Because they represent thinking and problem solving, yellow cards reveal our ability to resolve issues. In essence, they show what's on our mind. In yellow, we turn on the lights and let the spirits know we are home. If we don't let them know where we are, they cannot bring us our desires. Ultimately, the third chakra relates to our instincts, to how our life is directed by it. When we see how our instincts guides our thoughts, we will understand why we do what we do. And when it relates to our emotions, instincts is frequently the first thing that gets shut down. Remember what I said? Look to the previous chakra, the second chakra in this case, if you feel blocked. Every decision we have ever made is made in a flash, to move forward or to stop. There is a moment, a split second, in which we decide. In this chakra, you decide if you allow magic into your life. And so before we even go into the meaning of this abundance, I just want to stop and just sit with that. It says, every decision we have ever made is made in a flash, to move forward or to stop. There in a split second in which we decide. And so when it comes to love and finding joy, I feel like what this is saying to us is that deep down in your soul, you made a decision already on whether you feel worthy of love or not. I honestly feel so often that Black women, we have been told that we're too hard, we're too strong, we're too this, that we've internalized that. And we felt as though we don't feel worthy of love. Like we don't feel worthy of love. Like even down to the movies and the TV shows that we create. When we have our happy endings, it's a Black woman making that happy ending. And 9 times out of 10, these are from Black women writers. Like, so that just lets you know how internalized it is that we feel like if we don't make our own happy ending, it's not going to happen. And so often, so many of us, because we have that mindset that if I don't make this happen, it's not going to happen, you just give up. So often, I feel like a lot of us, we have our hearts broken. And women, I feel like women are a lot different than men, because we can go through a couple of bad relationships. It really takes women a while before we become jaded. But I think that lately it's been happening a lot more. And I think it's just because of the movies. It's the messaging. The message is, if Black women don't create their own happy ending, it's not going to happen. You tell me. I don't, and it's so funny that this switch has happened from the 90s to now. Because in movies like, I'm going on a tangent. In movies like Deliver Us from Eva, Last Holiday, mind you, these are LL Cool J, so I'm wondering if he got anything to do with it. Boomerang, like all of these other movies, every time that the Black woman got her happy ending, it was because this man did the grand gesture, right? Now, in our romantic comedies, whenever a woman is getting a happy ending, it's because she's initiating that happy ending. And this is down to Insecure. Like, I love Insecure so much. I fucking love Issa Rae. Like, love her. Like, number one on my wish list. But that ending, to me, it contributes to how Black women feel like they have to make their own happy endings. Like, Lauren should have been doing that grand gesture to her. Lauren should have been taking her to his office and being like, this. But no, it was Issa doing it. I want to say, was it not The Weekend? What was this other movie I just watched? The Boxing Day. I just watched that on Amazon. Once again, the woman doing a grand gesture. And it's like the world is trying to make Black women feel like if you don't do this on your own, it's not going to happen. And I'm just here to tell you, sis, you don't have to put up with shit. You don't have to be somebody trauma mule. You don't have to, settle for less than you deserve. You don't have to propose to a man in order for you to have your happy ending. If you believe, what God is trying to get you to understand is that your worthiness, angel number 937, it starts with what you believe deep down inside. If you believe that you are worthy of love, then you need to be out here walking, moving, and thriving that way. But so often, a lot of us don't. That's why we let niggas talk to us any type of way. That's why we even entertain these conversations about polygamy. And that's not to down anybody. Maybe that, monogamy is not for everybody. But I do feel like a lot of us women, it's just like we're giving up. And we like, well, shit, I got to become the man if I'm going to have a man. And I just don't feel like that's the way life should go. Abundance. Gold coins. Gold represents the power of the mind to choose. One choice may be wise, the other foolish. Choosing while temporarily, Gold represents the power of the mind to choose. One choice may be wise, the other foolish. Choosing well may involve temporary sacrifice in order to gain your desire. Remember that you can always make a new choice. You can always make a new choice. I was having this conversation earlier in this video about faith. I feel like let me be 100% transparent. Today, I told the man that I have been involved with for almost a decade that I need to work on myself. January 2nd, I wrote in my journal, for the first time in my life, a relationship is not the first thing on my mind. A man, a family is not the first thing on my mind. And I'm going to be honest, y'all, that scared the fuck out of me. It was like, who am I becoming? That's not my number one priority anymore. And I really had to ask myself, like, am I jaded? Am I giving up on love? And I realized it's not that I'm giving up on love, but I'm just deciding to approach it differently. I've spent my whole life chasing love. I spent my whole life, performing, trying to get people to understand me, fitting myself into certain boxes, like all of this shit. Betraying myself, and I don't want to do that no more. I had to let my ex go, not because he's some shitty person or because he did anything wrong for me, but because I know at my core how this even started is not who I am. It started with me and chasing love. But I'm grateful for our situation because it also taught me, like, it's possible to have love. It's possible to, to meet somebody who sees you. But I'll be lying to y'all if I tell y'all that I'm not scared. This is somebody I spent a decade with. And this is somebody I thought I would have kids with. I thought I would marry. And it's like, I'm saying no. I don't want that. And it's not even like I don't want it. It's just like, there's just something deep down inside of me that just, it's like, what if? What if it can be more? What if it can be better? What if I don't have to feel this way? What if you don't have to feel this tension, this anxiety? Like, I want a fresh start. And if I'm being real honest, I want that kiss. It feels so silly to say this out loud, but like, about 2 years ago now, no, it was like a year ago, I had this dream that I met this guy. I can't even remember his facial features. I just remember how he made me feel. And this kiss. And it was just, I've never been kissed like that before in my life. It was like I could feel the desire, the longing, the wanting. I never had nobody kiss me like this in my life. And like I woke up from that dream and I still I was still like, you know, like touching my lips, like, you know, like that. Like I still felt that kiss. And like it sounds silly, but like I kissed my ex and I didn't feel that. And it feels so crazy that it's like I'm throwing away a 10-year relationship to chase this feeling. But it's like I want that in real life. Like I want to experience that love. I want to experience that feeling. And like I'm scared and I feel crazy and I'm like, you know, is this the right thing to do? But I gotta have faith. I have to know that I'm worthy of love. Regardless of my past, regardless of, you know, whatever, my age. Like, I have to just believe that as I work on myself, as I become love, as I love on myself, like genuinely love myself. Like, y'all, when I was a freshman in college, I remember somebody saying, angel number 1626, like, oh, like, don't you want your own place, or would you? And I'm like, oh no, I would never want to have my own place. Like, being by myself felt like torture. It felt like a punishment. Like, I was literally at one point, I never wanted to be by myself. I never ever wanted to be by myself. Like, cause it just scared me. I don't know. Like, I just wanted people. I just wanted to be around people. And this is my first time in my life where it's like, I just feel challenged to be by myself, to like really pour in myself. And I just have to trust that at the end of this book, at the end of these videos, that there's gold at the end of this tunnel. And it feels crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel insane saying that to y'all out loud, but it's my truth. I left a 10-year relationship because of a kiss I had in a fucking dream to somebody I don't know, I've never met, I don't know what the fuck he looked like. You know, I don't even know if he exists. But I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try and trust. All right, let me finish. Abundance. I only seek to give you what you ask for. Inside a magical treasure chest, coin swaps stories. One coin tells how a man foolishly dropped her down a drain, then cried instead of trying to get her out. Later, an enterprising little girl used string and chewing gum to fish her out. The coin remembers how the girl saved them, along with many others, and eventually bought a house. As all coins desire to be well spent, they agree she was indeed a wise person. Think about your relationship with money. Are you the wise girl or the foolish Harley man? Money is naturally attracted towards appreciation and gratitude. And so, like, while this message, be wary of using financial situation as an excuse to avoid doing something. Are your thoughts and actions around money empowering or dispowering you? So, though this legend is talking about money, and at the root of it, it talks about how one person was willing to try to do something about their situation where another person just sat and cried about it. And I feel like a lot of you guys are using the excuse of money. Oh, well, I need to have a 2-parent household, or let me not even say that, because I haven't heard that until a couple of months ago. And this girl, I looked at her like she was crazy. I'm like, girl, really? Like, you really believe that? Like, we were having a conversation about I don't even know this nigga name, but the dude that talked down on women on IG live, and women somehow still calls in to listen to them. I don't even know his name, but whatever. Kevin Samuels, I think that's his name. And like, she was saying like, yeah, well, like, that is true. Like, in order to have a certain type of lifestyle, you do need to have a man. And I was just like, bitch, are you, I mean, in my head, of course I didn't say this to her out loud, but in my head, I'm like, in 2022, are you really fucking thinking like this? Agent number 2012, like, is women really out here being with niggas for money? And I know that sounds, to me, that just sounds insane. Like, but I guess it happens. Like, we see these, we clearly see it in, you know, the blogs and the celebrity shit. But like, to me, it's like, as an everyday woman, it just sounds insane to make a relationship decision based on money. But I mean, since the beginning of time, there was a time where women wasn't even allowed to have a bank account, weren't allowed to sign off on houses without having a man there. So I guess maybe on like some primal, you know, in your DNA blood type shit that you feel like you need a man to be financially stable. But to me, that's just, I can't understand that logic. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not one of them women. Like, I don't, to be honest, if I'm being completely honest, like, I was one of them bitches taking care of niggas. So I need to learn how to not do that. You know, like, I've never had, and maybe that's why, like, I've never had a man take care of me or, you know, provide me anything. Like, I have my own house, my own car. Well, I don't have my own house. I have my own place, my own car. I pay for it. You know, like, I own my X3 outright. Like, I have always been able to take care of myself, and I've always known women who were able to take care of themselves. So I can't understand that logic, but not to say it doesn't exist. And I feel like for the ones of you out here who are having, you know, you're dating certain people because, let's just be real. Portia. I don't know if you're watching Portia Family Matters, but I am. I'm highly entertained. I love Dennis, and I want to be on the show. But anyways, Portia, to be completely honest, and this is what my whole shit is about, I feel like Portia's only with Simon because of money. I feel like Portia genuinely loved Dennis. She wants to be with Dennis, but Dennis is young. Dennis is still out here. You can't control a Detroit nigga. And, and that's the problem. But like, to me, I personally can't act like I'm in love with somebody just because of their money. Like, I need to be physically, sexually, mentally attracted to you in order for us to go there. But I feel like so many of us women, because we like, I want to have a family, I want to be financially stable, and I feel like y'all are in relationships and situations with people you don't even like. But it's only because, oh, he got money. How is that going to work for you in the long run? How is that going to work out for you in the long run? I feel like at the basis, at the nucleus of this message, what God is trying to get you to understand is that what you believe is possible is what you're going to get in your life. And so if you believe that you can only be in a financially stable situation as if you have a billionaire, millionaire, and that he can, and the only way that relationship is going to work is if he had 5 or 6 other women and you got to deal with cheating, then that's what you're going to have. If you believe in your mind that if a man take care of his household, he can have 5 or 3 other, he can have other women. As long as I have a piece of man, I'd rather have a piece of man than no man, then that's how your life going to go. But what God is trying to get you to understand is that you are lovable and you deserve love. You're worthy of love simply because you exist. And if you walk out here and if you carry yourself in that way, if you change your beliefs about what type of relationship you want, what type of standards you have, then the universe will offer you a different type of nigga. Even I hate to say nigga, but he will. Like, you have to change your mindsets and your beliefs on what you believe is possible in love. And I feel like for so many Black women, we have been taught that we don't deserve happy endings, that we're not lovable, that we're too hard, we're too this, we all these other things. And now look at the state of the world. Literally, I remember, this is my last tangent and I'm leaving it alone. I remember a time when you watch porn and it was all about like pleasing a woman, like eating the girl out and all of this other stuff. And now these niggas are not like, this is all about eating niggas ass. And I'm like, what type of world are we living in? It's like, I'm sorry, I can never get over this. I don't like the eating, the milking, like all of that shit. It's disgusting to me. And it's not disgusting to me because I'm like, men shouldn't be able to, you know, have pleasure in that way. It's disgusting to me because it just shows, to me, it's a microcosm of what's happening on a global scale. And what's happening is, because women have been taught that we're too strong and all this other stuff, that we're starting to take on the role of men, and we're trying to treat men like bitches. And it's not, I just don't feel like that's how the world should go. Let it go. I'm done. I'm getting off my soapbox. Abundance through gratitude, releasing regret, being good with money. Last thing I want to say, about this talked about money and about how you approach things differently. But again, I just feel like what God is saying is that if it's all about your beliefs and what you believe is possible. If you believe it's possible for you to have a loyal, fine, financially stable man with great penis, then you need to carry yourself in that way, move that way, and not settle for anything less. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. I just want us as black women to do better. I want us to like make these niggas come to our standards. Like, and I'm telling y'all, like, that's a lot of why I couldn't stay in my last situation, because I feel like I can't talk to y'all a certain type of way and carry myself proudly and do all this work on myself and allow somebody to treat me less like an option. Like, I can't do that for nobody. You deserve, you are lovable, abundance. God, what do you want us to know about us being worthy of love? And also, like, for the give your relationship a chance, going with this abundance message, I think what God is trying to say, one of you guys are in your relationship and you're like, it's fucked up, it's fucked up, it's fucked up. Both of y'all are both in your relationship, like, it's fucked up, it's fucked up, it's fucked up, but neither one of y'all are doing anything about it. Like, me and him, and last thing, we got into like this big argument. And I was like, see, this is why I want to go to therapy. And he's like, well, what the fuck therapy gonna do? And I'm like, I don't need to be here. I'm like, we don't look at things the same. We clearly don't even approach life the same. And so it's like, I was able to look at that like, okay, we don't even approach life the same. And I feel like that's how some of you guys are. Like, you're not, you know that your relationship is not working, but neither one of you guys are willing to try to do something differently. And if you know it's not working and you're not willing to try anything differently, then why not just let it go? Because guess what's right under this? Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So it's like, if you know it's not going to work and you know that neither one of you guys are willing to put in the work to make it work, let it go. So that you can get what's for you. But if you do love the guy and if you both want to make it work, be willing to be like that little girl and try something different, okay? Final message. God, clarify, what do you want us to know about knowing that we're worthy of love, being willing to try something differently, and working on our limiting beliefs to get the love that we deserve. In God's name I pray. Ashe. Take the card on the bottom. I knew this is gonna come. This happened twice today. My manifestations are indicators of my beliefs. This is just God just dumbling down everything that I said. If you have been in a string of ain't shit relationships, that mean deep down inside you don't feel like you're shit yourself. And so now it's time for you to take accountability on why you don't feel lovable, why you don't feel like you're worthy of having a partner who sees you for the real you. But don't take my word for it. Let's clarify. It is always true that whatever you are living always matches your chronic vibrational pattern or belief. It is always true that whatever you are living always matches your chronic vibrational patterns or beliefs. So if you have been living a string of ancient relationships, then somewhere deep down inside, whether you believe it or not, you don't feel like you're worthy of love. You don't feel like you deserve it. And now you have to do the work to ask yourself, why? And it doesn't matter if you have an excellent excuse for your negative thoughts and your negative emotions. I'm going to pause right there. So you may start going down the path and you may say, well, my mama wasn't shit. My daddy didn't love me. I never had a daddy. I never had a mother figure. I never had nobody loving and pouring into me. Those are all excellent excuses. I was abused as a child. Those are all excellent excuses for why you don't feel worthy of love. But they're excuses and they're not the truth. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is that if you're going to allow that tape, that's why I told y'all, I don't even want to hear myself say, you was talking about that little kid. I don't even want to hear that bullshit, because if I keep replaying it over and over in my mind, I mean, I'm continuing to breathe life into that lie. I'm continuing to breathe life into that excuse, and I'm pushing away what I genuinely want and I genuinely deserve. They still equal your point of attraction. What is manifesting on every subject in your life is an indicator of the beliefs you hold in your chronic pattern of thoughts. So I'm going to leave that message there. Our opinion about our children can influence our behavior. And this is saying our children about our opinions about our children, but I want you guys to replace that with our opinions about our relationships can influence the behavior. So if you feel like, oh, well, this ain't gonna never work, he never gonna change, he just this, his mama gonna always do this, then guess what? All of those are gonna pour into your relationship. So if you want this relationship to work, you have to be willing to do something differently, and not just do something differently, but think something differently. And for my singles out there, if you've been having a string of bad relationships, then it's on you, baby girl, to like really sit with yourself and ask yourself, why is this a recurring theme? And for me, it was I was chasing love. Why was you chasing love? Because I ain't never get it as a kid. Why you ain't never get it as a kid? Because my parents ain't never get it as a kid. And I can keep going down the line. But the thing is, just because my parents didn't love me and value me, that doesn't mean that I'm not worthy of love. That just means that that's all the more that I should get that love from me, okay? All right, y'all. Last thing, and I'm going to get you guys up out of here. God, what comes to us if we decide that we are worthy of love? What if we decide to approach life differently and to focus on joy and try to give our relationships a chance, God? What will come? Card popped out. Love life. Affairs of the heart could cause future problems, but take heart, as difficult solutions will be resolved by a good decision this week. And so what God is saying is that, yeah, you may have been having problems. Your love life may have been up and down and all around, but God is saying, if this week you choose to approach your relationship differently, you will choose to approach your love life differently, then I bet you will get different manifestations as a result of your different beliefs. Last thing, God says, society, say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities, new love interests for singles as a result. So that's doubling down that God is saying that if you choose to change your beliefs, then he will change your love life. All right, y'all, that's all the messages I have for you. If you made it to the end of this message, give me a thumbs up. Angel number 33. If you are not subscribed to this, what are you waiting for? Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Talk to you soon.